Good morning to you, good morning. It's Sunday, 30th of June 2019. Where am I? Well, I'm just leaving Linford Civic Amenity Site, which is the posh way of saying the tip. I'm on my way to Benfleet for the things that you should be doing on a Sunday, but took advantage of driving past this place to get rid of some stuff. You know how there's stuff that you keep in workshops that will come in useful one day? Well, it's been lying there for years without becoming useful. Got the choice of taking it with me to France, where it can lay in another workshop for years without ever becoming useful, or down to the tip. So yeah, we've just taken stuff and dumped it, but now we're going to go to Benfleet, and we're going past Stamford Le Hope in Essex. And being a summer Sunday, of course there's classic cars out on the road. I'm trying to think the proper name of that Triumph, not the big black thing in front of me, but the thing in front of that. Sure, it's a Triumph 2000 or something like that. Perhaps if we catch him up we'll get a better idea. Bumpy old road this, not as smooth as the roads in France, but that's a very smooth motor car, isn't it? Well, it's always good to have some bread and some wine with good friends. Now I've got to get organised. Oh, this is a lumpy old road, isn't it? Get organised, prepare Skoda for long drive in the morning. So we're back on the A13, leaving, well, I'm leaving Benfleet, but of course now we're sort of leaving Basildon. Everyone's driving on the wrong side of the road still. For those of you familiar with this road, it seems that there's always roadworks, but the roadworks that are going on here now are all about widening the road to cope with the traffic from the expanding ports at Stamford Le Hope and at Tilbury. So there's construction and cranes and general sort of disorganisation. I'm turning off here. Older viewers will think of this as the Orsett Cock roundabout. The Orsett Cock was a pub that used to have the picture of a chicken or a hen or whatever it was. Nowadays the pub is no longer a pub, it's I think it's an Indian restaurant these days. Oh, good morning to you all, good morning. Still dark. ish. It's the 1st of July, Monday the 1st of July, and I am on the M25 motorway, just approaching the QE2 bridge. Some people call it Betty's Bridge. And this is part of the route for the Grand Escape back to France. It's quite an impressive bridge. One of those wonderful things that was built, and we were told we had to pay to go over it, and we were told that we would only pay for it until it was paid for, and then we were told that payments to cross would stop. Yeah, it was politicians that told us that. Still costs money to cross the bridge. Not a great deal, but only after 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking at the car. The car says it's 7 minutes past 4. I've set out particularly early today for several reasons. One is the road that I'm going to be using has got roadworks for most of its length and speed restrictions. The other is that there are different degrees of security checks at Dover, and the ferry company have said, be there a bit early. True to say, in the back of the car I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm just sort of hoping that security doesn't want me to take it all out. Normally what happens is they sort of look and they say, oh, have you got a house in France? And naturally I say yes, and they say, oh, have you got any guns? No. Have you got any explosives? No. Any controlled drugs? No. And then they lose interest. That's what normally happens, and I'm sort of hoping that's what's going to happen today. But look at that traffic going the other way. Crikey. That's horrendous. I'm glad I'm not caught in that. Look at that, there's the sign, Dover, which for me is the gateway to France. It's about another 4 miles to the port. That's not bad time. 4 minutes past 5. Yeah, happy with that. Good morning to you, good morning. It's July the 2nd, 2019, and I'm sort of surveying the vegetable patch, which has been left for 10 days to do its own thing, and crikey, yeah, weeds, think I need to get some stuff done out here. Some pleasing things though. Look at these wonderful beans. They've been left to their own devices, and they've been doing their own thing, and they're covered in flower, and there's 1 or 2 beans here and there which will all go in the pot later today. But I think I need to start doing something about the weeds. I've already been around a little bit with the water, making a start, but yeah, still it's peaceful, it's calm, it's lovely, and nothing that a little elbow grease won't deal with. Oh boy, the challenge, try to make this look like a garden instead of a weed patch. Gardening is, for some, hard work, and they sort of balk at it and can't be bothered to do it. For me, it's a very great pleasure, and I know it's a very great pleasure for others too. And I've made a start, but in making a start, of course, just look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? You know, I planted this bush. I'm sort of proud of myself for planting it and watering it enough that it's doing this sort of thing. Of course, what I didn't do was create it. And, you know, I know at least one of you, at least, will remember the creator when you see a thing as beautiful as that.